What's going on? Mitchell Renz, Tom Downey here to break down our latest NFL mock draft after Super Bowl 55. Tom didn't sleep at all last night. He was looking in the, looking at the web, but looking at the screen, watching the tape, breaking down. Number one pick here in his latest mock, it's Trevor Lawrence. Wow. Crazy.
I mean, this doesn't require very much explanation. Lawrence is going to go number one to Jacksonville, barring the most ridiculous change ever. That's pretty much locked in. Where things get interesting is pick number 2.
Okay, Tom.
Wilson and Fields, depending on who you ask with the NFL, they feel differently about it. I could see Zach Wilson being a better fit for what the Niners want to do on offense than Justin Fields. I'll probably go back and forth on this for a while. I don't think Darnold's the guy in New York, despite what the coach might have said in his press conference. I think they're going to go quarterback, and I think Wilson might be the guy for New York. But that is absolutely a toss-up question, or pick, I should say.
The Dolphins have 2 first-round picks, 3 and 18, and in your latest mock draft, they're taking Devonta Smith, Heisman winner, going to go play with his old teammate in Tua.
I mean, that makes sense, right? Like, if you're the Dolphins, you're trying to build around Tua, because I didn't project any trades, so no Deshaun Watson one in this particular video. Mock. So if you're the Dolphins,
okay,
and you benefited from the Senior Bowl of getting an up-close look at Devonta Smith, assuming he checked off all your boxes, I think he's going to be your guy, unless they go and add somebody in free agency, but we'll update with that if we need to later on in the offseason.
The third quarterback off the board, Justin Fields, going to the Atlanta Falcons at pick 4.
Fields, again, it's Fields, Wilson, and Lance. We'll get to all those guys. The Falcons are a weird team for me.
Yep.
Because when I don't give them a quarterback, I have no idea what to do. Because, their needs do not align with the top players left on the board. So, if I'm Atlanta, give me a potential franchise quarterback. I can sit him for a year behind Matt Ryan and then move on from Matt Ryan, make Justin Fields my guy, and have a longer window, in theory, because I found my franchise quarterback for the next 10 or 15 years.
So, out of the 3 quarterbacks that y'all see on screen right now, who's the better quarterback? Justin Fields type JF, Trey Lance type TL, or is it Zach Wilson type ZW? If you would have asked me this last year, I would have said Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Trey Lance, though, obviously he didn't really get to play too much. Mm-hmm. Give me Zach Wilson. I'm typing ZW.
Wilson had a fantastic 2020. Fields has played at a pretty high level for 2 years. Helped that he had his best game ever against Clemson in the college football playoff semifinal. Lance's ceiling, though, is really intriguing. So, honestly, I don't think there's a wrong answer on here. A lot of it's going to come down to fit, and that matters a lot more than we want to admit in the NFL.
I see in the comments, Tim Hutchinson says, where's Penei Sewell? He's going to the Cincinnati Bengals here at pick number 5.
I know there are some within the NFL who are like, Rashawn Slater's better. I honestly don't understand it. I like Slater. He'll probably be a top 15, top 10 guy for me. Sewell's better. Take him, put him at left tackle, hit Jonah Williams over to right tackle, and actually protect your franchise QB.
First cornerback off the board, Patrick Surtain, going to the Philadelphia Eagles.
So the purpose of every mock draft is to look at different scenarios.
Correct.
Going with another receiver, which I think I've done for every single mock draft we've done so far, is just doing the exact same thing over and over. So if the Eagles don't go receiver, maybe they add somebody in free agency. How about they come get another corner to help them out? Because they have Darius Slay, and no one else was good at cornerback. So Surtain comes in. He gets to be their number 2 early, becomes the number 1 down the road, fixes the defense in what reality might be a punt year for that organization.
Jamar Chase, next receiver off the board, going to go to the Detroit Lions, go play with Jared Goff.
I thought about quarterback, but again, I think going after Goff means they're going to pass. I might be wrong. We'll see if it changes. They got to get more receiver help because all their good guys are free agents, Mitch.
Yeah.
The only guy they have under contract right now is Quintez Cephas.
Oh, man.
Even if you bring back Kenny Golladay, I'd still say go draft Jamar Chase or Jaylen Waddle or whatever. So I like the need is so great at receiver. That makes sense for him. All right, Kyle Pitts at number 8 here to the Panthers. Again, different scenario. Let's not have Carolina go quarterback again. If the quarterbacks are gone, or in this case, if they don't love Trey Lance, I think Kyle Pitts is a great fit. I would love to see him in a Joe Brady offense. Maybe they lose Curtis Samuel this offseason. Pitts at tight end, McCaffrey in the backfield, along with Robbie Anderson and DJ Moore. Whoever the quarterback is has all the pieces they're searching for in terms of a dynamic offense around them. I like Pitts' fit for Carolina, but this might be kind of the upper echelon of where he actually ends up going in round 1.
Now, this is going to be the pinned comment on today's NFL mock draft video. So when you're getting hit with the YouTube ad break, I want you to scroll on down. It's going to be the very, very first question on the video. And let us know who your favorite draft prospect is. At number 9 here, going to the Denver Broncos, Micah Parsons from linebacker U.
I could see a surprise fall for him. There are some off-the-field stuff, maturity, character, all that good stuff, all Googleable. I think his fitting with Denver, though, is really good. Yeah. Unless they add an inside linebacker, I like the fit of Parsons to Denver.
I'll let you take this one, Tom.
Yeah, Caleb Farley's my dude. He's actually my number 1 cornerback this year.
Yep.
And both Farley and Parsons fall into a similar category of these guys opted out. How is the NFL going to dock them for that?
True.
Because there's going to be concerns of like, oh, you don't love football, or oh, we don't think you're in great shape, or you missed the entire year of development. Those are all valid concerns. I think Farley has all the traits you want in a cornerback. The Cowboys need a trait-C cornerback. I love Trevon Diggs. He's not that, though, if we're being honest. Farley could be. That 1-2 punch on the outside is really good.
One of the players that's probably the hardest for me to see where he ends up going, it's Jaylen Waddle. Unbelievably talented, but did have a lot of injuries this year.
I think he could go anywhere from, 3 even. Like if things get wild, probably not, but if they do, and I think he's off the board by 16. Joe Judge and Dave Gettleman made a big deal about we got to find more playmakers on our offense. Jaylen Waddle's a damn playmaker, man. As a reminder to everyone watching, in case you guys forgot or whatever, when Waddle and Devonta Smith were both out there on the field and both healthy this year, Jaylen Waddle was more productive. He was outplaying Devonta Smith. This dude, he's not Tyreek Hill. But if you're trying to find a just dynamic, the guy you fear if you're an opposing defensive coordinator, that's Waddle more so than it is Smith or Chase.
Tell you what, you're going to fear your wife or your girlfriend if you don't get her anything for Valentine's Day.
Nice.
So hurry up. Make sure you guys go to chatsports.com/flowers where you can save up to 15% off flowers, gifts, chocolates, all sorts of amazing gifts. Tom and I, we like to think that we're pretty good at doing NFL mock drafts, but we're not professionals in the gift-giving world, so that's why we are trusting the professionals at Pro Flowers here. So what I want you guys to do, make sure that your loved ones are taken care of. I think 2020 is definitely a year that showed us that we need to be able to go out and tell people, hey, I'm thinking of you and I care about you. Here's a great and easy way to do it. Go to chatsports.com/flowers, 15% off flowers and gifts. Macaroons, and Tom, maybe if you don't have a sweet tooth, you can also get hooked up here with the bubble bath.
Oh, I like the sweet tooth one, because if I buy chocolates or sweets for my wife, I get some, which is probably not what she wants to hear.
Now I see what you're doing.
But she doesn't watch the shows anymore, so it's fine. I can say that no one's gonna rat on me, right, guys?
Right.
We're saving you 15% off. Don't be a snitch.
All right, let's go to pick number 12 here. Trey Lance going to go to the San Francisco 49ers.
Again, Lance, Wilson, Fields, who knows where they end up going. If you're San Francisco and Lance is there, I think you have to do it.
Okay.
Because I don't think Jimmy G's the guy. I think you're looking for a long-term quarterback. Heck, I wouldn't even be opposed to them trading up to getting Trey Lance if that's the route that they wanted to pursue in the end.
The Los Angeles Chargers, I feel like my entire life have needed an offensive lineman, so let's go with Rashawn Slater.
Protect Justin Herbert at all costs. Slater's had some top 5 buzz. You get him at 13, I think that's some pretty damn good value for LA.
Minnesota Vikings next up here, taking edge rusher from Michigan, Penei.
Penei is going to be a perfect fit for what Minnesota likes. That's athletes. A team that covets 3-cone. They cover athleticism in their edge rushers. Penei is like the fastest 3-cone in history for a defensive end. Even if you add some time to the Michigan numbers, it's still off the charts. So, yeah, he's a good fit for Minnesota, who, guess what, needs another edge rusher opposite Daniil Hunter, especially since the Yannick Ngakoue trade did not work out in the end.
So I know we don't always like to ask these questions, but guess what?
It's life.
It does happen,
it's
right?
Life.
Which prospect is most likely to bust? So I'm thinking first-round prospects, most likely to bust. What I want you to do, go down in the comments, let us know. Tom, what about you? Most likely to bust?
I am worried about these edge rushers because a lot of them are traits-based guys and not production guys, and that gets me concerned because the ceiling's high means the floor is pretty low as well.
At pick 15,
there you go.
We got Christian Barmore going to the New England Patriots.
I didn't know what to do with New England, in all honesty. Like I thought about going with Mac Jones here, but I hate that for New England. So 15 was too early for me. I would love to get a receiver or tight end, but 4 of them went off the board in the top 12 picks.
Sure.
So I went with defense instead. Barmore, who high upside guy, really flashed down the stretch this year, only has about really 4 great games on tape this year. But I think in the Belichick system, he'd be a great fit.
At pick 16, going to the Arizona Cardinals. Patrick Peterson's leaving. You got Jace Horn now.
Yeah, I like J.C. Horn a lot. I think he is, at least for me, the clear number 3 cornerback in this class out of South Carolina. His tape against Auburn, Seth Williams, was just incredible. That's the reason he's going to go in round 1. And if you're Arizona, you got to find another corner on the outside. Byron Murphy, a Horn combo. It's pretty good.
If you are looking for more videos around the NFL draft, seriously, all you got to do is hit the big red button that says subscribe. Chat Sports has been the most watched NFL draft coverage 3 straight years. We had close to like 10 million viewers through a course of a week. We're going to be breaking down the latest draft news and rumors, and we have a lot of fun too when we're live for the draft. Literally, all 7 rounds, every pick. It's insane. It's like 24 hours of us being live. Hit the big red button that says subscribe so that way you guys don't miss it. The Las Vegas Raiders going to go with Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, linebacker from Notre Dame.
This is your guy now, too, right?
I was excited. The more and more tape I watch, the more and more I absolutely love this type of player. I think would fit terrifically with Nick Witkowski, with Corey Littleton. You don't bring back Nicholas Morrow, so I really like this
I'm a little bit worried about having this many linebackers on key roles, but you can move on from Littleton sooner than later, so I was okay with it in the end.
At pick number 18 in our latest mock draft, Christian Darrisaw, offensive tackle from Virginia Tech.
I was going to go defense here for Miami, but I'm like, oh, wait, Darrisaw's like a top 15 guy, and it happened to be in this mock draft. Again, different scenarios. The tackles fell,
Yep.
So I'm just going to take Darrisaw here at 18 for Miami. I can put him at right tackle if I need to. I can move Austin Jackson around. I can move Robert Hunt around. Give me what I think that at least in terms of their board, probably be the best guy left.
I really like this pick. Mac Jones going to the Washington football team.
I'm glad you like it because I don't love it.
I like it. It's fun.
Even though it's my mock draft, I think there's a real chance Mac Jones goes in round 1. He has to go to the right fit.
Yep.
And I think Washington is enough of a right fit if they get another receiving option or add some more offensive line talent in free agency or later on in the draft too. He can have some success. I'm just worried he's going to be capped as like an Andy Dalton, Jimmy Garoppolo guy, which isn't bad. And at pick 19, you're okay with it, but I feel like you're just going to be always wanting just a little bit more playmaking, especially outside of the pocket.
Chicago Bears need offensive line help, Tom. That's exactly what we did here with Vera Tucker.
Elijah Vera Tucker was a left guard last year at USC. Then this past season moved to left tackle, and he might just stay there now because he was that good at left tackle. The Bears need more offensive line help. He can play tackle for you. I think he's going to be off the board in that top 25-ish where there are a lot of teams that could use an offensive tackle in the end.
All right, so we just talked about Mac Jones, and he is a tough prospect, I think, to put your finger on. So type O for over 19.5 or under for 19.5. Where exactly y'all think he goes? So over, under, it's a tough one.
Remember, you have the Bears and Colts and even teams like the Steelers and Saints in the back end of round 1 who could take him. Does Washington or New England take him first? In this case, I went under 19.5, meaning he went off the board at number 19 overall. I don't know if it really ends up happening. If I had to bet, I think I might go over. I was just a coward in this particular mock draft.
Yeah, you said it, not me. Gregory Rousseau here going to the Indianapolis Colts.
I've given the Colts a lot of tackles before, but they could just move Quentin Nelson or Braden Smith left tackle, so let's look at a different need for them, edge rusher. I don't love Rousseau's tape, in all honesty. Like, the production was great. The traits are awesome. He did sit out this season. There are people who think Jalen Phillips is the better player. I think with the Colts, though, with his size and athletic ability, I think that fits what they like in their prospects.
Azeez Ojulari, edge rusher from Georgia, going to go to the Tennessee Titans. I like this.
You nailed that name, by the way. I forgot to give you the pronunciation.
I've been practicing a little bit, but obviously Tennessee, they wanted the guy like Clowney. They wanted the guy like Vic Beasley. It didn't work out, so I actually really like this.
Yeah, I think the fit is awesome. Like, he is a 3-4 outside linebacker, a stand-up guy. That's the scheme that the Titans run. Ojulari and Landry on the edge, that's a much better path than what they had last year.
First running back off the board, Najee Harris, who his picture to me looks like a Snapchat filter.
Okay. That's a weird takeaway to have.
That's just the very first thing I saw, and that's what I'm going with.
We haven't talked about Najee Harris on our mock draft because I never find a spot to put it back in. I found one this time, and I went with Najee because I wanted to give him some credit.
Okay.
Had he turned pro last year, he would have been like maybe a round 3 pick because he wasn't very explosive. He didn't offer a lot of big plays. His vision was getting better, but wasn't quite elite yet. And his pass catching was not really there. This year, all the things he struggled with previously, he was awesome at.
Okay.
So I think Najee Harris, his growth from last year to this year made him significant amounts of money. He's going to be one of the first 2 backs off the board. And frankly, I think by the time the Falcons are picking it in round 2, since they need a back, he's off the board.
So how many running backs go in round 1? I'm a believer that it could be 2.
Yeah.
But I also sit here and I
think that's your max.
I don't really think that I would draft a running back in round 1, but I'm in agreement. It's 2 is the max. So I guess technically it's like over under 1.5, maybe over under 1.
I'm taking the under 1.5, and I still might take the under half.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Let us know in the comments how many running backs go in round 1. Samuel Cosmi, offensive tackle from Texas. He's going to go to the Pittsburgh Steelers here.
You got to protect Big Ben and whoever the inevitable replacement for Big Ben is down the road. I like Cosmi a little bit more than most. I was also higher on Connor Williams than most, and that's a very similar prospect here. So they need to get a tackle. I like Cosmi off the board here in this back end of round 1. He's got some good upside as things move forward in the end.
The 2021 Spelling Bee champ, Tevin Jenkins, going here to the Jacksonville
Jaguars.
Jaguars
He's a good football
at 25.
player. This is the if we don't retain Cam Robinson pick.
Okay.
Now, they might bring him back if so tackles off the board, but I think Jenkins ends up going in round 1.
Jaylen Phillips from the U is going to go here to the Cleveland Browns at 26.
Medical's going to be key for him. He was great this year for Miami. And in high school,
especially at the end,
number 1 overall recruit.
Yep.
So this is a talented player, no doubt about it, but he transferred from UCLA to Miami, had really 1 year of great production for the Hurricanes, and there is some previous medical stuff that has to get checked out. So if he passes medically, I think he's a great fit opposite Myles Garrett. If he doesn't, he's going to fall down the draft board.
The biggest need for the Baltimore Ravens this offseason is getting more wide receiver help for Lamar Jackson. So I actually really like this pick Bateman here at pick 27.
I think he's a good enough fit for what the Ravens need. They've tried to find that Dez Bryant-esque outside receiver. Bateman's not quite a Dez player, like neither style nor, frankly, talent, but he helps them in a big way, and they need that.
This is a very intriguing prospect. I've heard very different things about him since the Senior Bowl. Kadarius Toney going here to the Saints
what have
at
you
28.
Heard?
I've heard very good. I've also heard comps to Tyreek Hill, which I can't get on board for that.
Okay, there was a lot of, especially early in his career at Florida, there were some significant character issues. Like he got in trouble multiple times. I heard he didn't interview that well at the Senior Bowl. You know who else didn't interview well? Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. You know who took him? The Saints did.
Okay.
And my mindset is this. The Saints are going to try to do the weird Taysom Hill thing. Hill can't throw downfield.
Yeah.
So give me a short area quickness guy like Toney who can just make ridiculous moves with his ankle flexibility and able just to juke guys out in open space.
Tyson Campbell going to go to the Green Bay Packers here at pick number 29.
No more Kevin King, please, for starters. Campbell has the traits you want. Honestly, Eric Stokes, his teammate, was the better player, but the NFL loves traits. I think he goes off the board before him.
The Buffalo Bills at pick 30 get a great middle linebacker in Nick Bolton. Can he do more, though, than just play your typical Mike linebacker?
I think he can cover and run stop, so
okay.
At that point you're fine. I thought about Zaven Collins here, but if you're trying to replace Matt Milano to an extent, I think an Edmonds-Bolton combination for Buffalo makes more sense than an Edmonds-Collins combination, so that's why I went with Bolton here at number 30.
What did we learn from the Super Bowl, Tom?
Protect Mahomes.
Alex Leatherwood here at pick number 31.
Hey, maybe he's a left tackle. Maybe he's a guard. Guess what? Kansas City probably needs both, given all of their injury issues and not great talent in terms of depth. So maybe you go defense too. Don't go back, though, again. Don't go with another RB. How about you protect Mahomes instead?
And to round out the first round of our 2021 NFL mock draft, edge rush from Texas, Joseph Asai going to the Buccaneers.
I don't know if Shaq Barrett's back. He's going to be expensive.
Yep.
So this is your Shaq Barrett replacement as a potential edge rusher for Tampa.
All right, Tom, here are some teams without a first-round pick. Tell me why exactly you went this route.
Trey Smith stock down from the beginning of this year, but Seattle needs offensive linemen. When I ran through the simulator to get to these second-round options, he was the best guy on the board. Carlos Basham isn't the typical Rams outside edge rusher, but he's athletic enough, I think, to make it work, so I think it fits there. And Houston all the way down in round 3. Aaron Robinson out of Central Florida. He was a nickel for them, But his traits say he could play outside corner. His size does as well. Interesting prospect. If he's there in round 3, I like that pick quite a bit for Houston.